and welcome. My name is Mr. Keir from the School Tech HQ, and I will be your guide for this microbit tutorial. In this video, we are going to look at how to create a basic animation on a microbit by using a repeated pattern. We'll then look at ways in which we can simplify our instructions by using something called loops. I'll then finish by going over how we can take this idea of animations further. If you want to have a go coding along, feel free to pause or rewind this video whenever you want. So let's begin. The first thing we need to do once we get onto the makecode.microbits.org is to create a new project. Simply select the big purple box that says New Project, and it will take you to a new page. Right, now that we're on this new page, you'll see that there are three main sections: a microbit simulator, a command palette, and the sandbox, where our instructions or algorithm will be made. If you look at the sandbox, you'll notice that we have an onStart and a forever block already there. These appear when you create any new project. We'll leave them for now. We'll have a look at them later. So let's start making our animation then. The first thing we need to do is to select the blue basic block on the command palette. It's the one right at the top. And then click and drag the show icon command over to the sandbox and hold it over the onStart block. You'll see that it will highlight in yellow when it can be clicked into place. Once you let go of your mouse or finger, it will drop into place and pop right in between that box. We want a couple of these, so I'll repeat this step 3 more times and you can follow along if you want. Or if I skip forward maybe 10 seconds or so. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now that I have my icons, I can select the little drop-down option and change what they will be. So I'm going to keep the first and the third icon to a big heart and change the second and fourth icon to a small heart. So it should eventually look like this. So change the second one and the fourth one. Now if we look at our algorithm, so far what should happen is that the image on the microbit simulator should go from a big heart to a small one. And congratulations, woohoo, we did it. You made an animation. However, if we want to change how fast or slow it changes or how many times, we need to do a bit more. So it's a great first step. Congratulations. Now let's take it a step further. To allow us to see the transition from big to small heart, however fast or slow we want. Maybe we want to have a long big heart and a short and quick slow heart. There's a few things we need to do. And how we do this is by adding a little time delay between each of the icons. To do this, we need to go back to that basic command at the top of the command palette and scroll down until we see the pause MS100. Click and drag this command between each of the image icons and change the number from 100 to 1 second by clicking on the number on the command. I'll show you how to do this right now. Again, copy it, do the same again, second. Then the third. And then the fourth. Then I'm going to go through each one, select the 100, change it to 1 second. There we go. Done and done. Okay, now hopefully you should now see that the microbit will show the image changing from big heart to small heart and then do it again. If you want, you can actually change that slightly to have it, play around with it, see what happens when you change it to a smaller time or bigger time. If you have a physical device connected to your computer at this moment, then now's a good time to maybe download your algorithm so you can see your code actually come to life on microbits. So there we go. We now have a working little animation. Now it's time to move on from making this animation last a little longer, potentially forever. Currently, this animation will only repeat our pattern twice because that is the order of the commands, and that's what we've set. We could make the animation last longer by adding in more icon and pause commands, but that would make our algorithm ridiculously long and crazy. This is where loops come into play. There are two main options when it comes to loops: a forever loop, which will repeat the commands it's inside it for, well, forever, and a numbered loop, which will only repeat a number of times. So what we are going to do is select the top icon command within the onStart box and drag and drop it into the forever loop, like this. Because it's a forever loop, we don't actually need a second half of the command, just the first big heart down to the second pause command. So to get rid of the extra bit of code, we, instead of one by one getting rid of them, we can click on the third show icon, so the next command that we don't need, and then drag it back to the command palette, which will then show a big purple bin, and then drop it there, and hey presto, like magic, it's disappeared. Now, if you haven't noticed already, have a look at the simulator. Again, if you're using a physical device, download your algorithm so you can see your code on your physical microbit. Anyway, this loop will never stop unless you turn the power off, but if you only want the animation to repeat a couple of times, then you could use a repeat loop. How to do this is we go down the command palette and we select the green loops option. You'll see that the first option is a repeat 4 times do command, and we're going to drag and drop that. This command is not like this onStart and forever blocks. You can see it's different shapes, so this command only works when it's nested inside another block. So we're going to add that to our onStart block and then bring back the animation that we have in the forever, which we created already. So it will look like this. As you can see on the repeat loop, there is an option to change the amount of times you want to repeat the pattern. It could be twice, it could be 100 plus times, it's up to you. It does give you more flexibility, so play around with it and have fun. That's kind of the main thing about this microbits and learning. It's all about having fun and just being creative. So now that you have gone through how to create an animation and how to use loops to make our animations easier and more flexible, here are some final tips before you go away and have lots of fun creating your own animations. With the show icon command, you can see that there are lots of options when you select the drop-down menu. But there is also another way of creating LED patterns and images if you don't fancy any of these. In Basic, there is this command near the top called Show LEDs. You'll see it. It's a big grid of 25 blank squares. If we drag that over and add it to our sandbox, we can then customize our animation further by selecting whatever we want into the patterns, like so. We click on the box, it will turn white. Click it again, it will disappear, and you can create as many different patterns and images as you want. You can also play around with how long icons are displayed for on the microbit by changing the length of the pause after the icon, which I showed you earlier. Maybe take a long one and then a short one to make your heartbeat faster or slower. And then finally, with the option to repeat a set number of times, you could create a series of animations that start after each other. So one animation repeats 3 times, but the next animation after that repeats 5 times. It's completely up to you. So yeah, play around with the numbers and the images and see what you can create. So that ends our how-to guide today for how to create flashing images and animations with microbits. Thank you for watching. Remember to pause and rewatch the video so that you can understand how to create your own animations if you're not sure, and use loops as well as go at your own pace. Whether you are in school or at home learning, I hope this video has been useful. Leave a comment below telling me how you got on and what icons did you use or create. Again, thanks for watching and enjoy creating with microbits.